I have a really important case study for you today about how Republicans end up muddying the waters and winning merely by distracting. As you probably know, Donald Trump has been impeached. We have an impeached president, only the third in the history of the United States. We are now standing by for the Senate trial, which will begin when House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sends the impeachment articles that the House approved over to the Senate. An acquittal is all but a foregone conclusion in the Republican-controlled Senate. I've talked about how it could go differently. It's not likely to go differently. This is all about Donald Trump. But Republicans have been able to turn this around and make it about Joe Biden during the last week. Democratic primary candidate and former VP Joe Biden said to the Des Moines Register last week he would not comply if the Senate subpoenas him to the impeachment trial of Donald Trump in the Senate. Now, Joe Biden accurately told the newspaper that sending a subpoena to Joe Biden would be a way to take attention off of Trump. And that part he was right about. But then he said that he wouldn't comply. And of course, Joe Biden is right that subpoenaing him to the impeachment trial would be an attempt to distract from Donald Trump. But immediately Republicans respond with, how could this be? Biden would ignore a subpoena, even though Democrats won't stop talking about how Republicans are ignoring subpoenas and they're terrible because of it. Does Joe Biden not care about the Constitution? Which is obvious concern trolling, but it pushes the story to being about Biden instead of being about Trump. So then this leads to another round of Biden talking about this, having to clarify. Biden, a few days later, had to go back and say, well, hold on. Of course I would obey a legal constitutional subpoena, tweeting about it in addition to talking about it, saying on Twitter, quote, I want to clarify something I said yesterday in my 40 years in public life. I have always complied with a lawful order, and in my 8 years as VP, my office, unlike Donald Trump and Mike Pence, cooperated with legitimate congressional oversight requests. But I am not just going to pretend that there is any legal basis for Republican subpoenas for my testimony in the impeachment trial. That is the point I was making yesterday. And I reiterate, this impeachment is about Trump's conduct, not mine. The subpoenas should go to witnesses with testimony to offer to Trump's shaking down the Ukraine government. So now it gets more muddled with commentary about the commentary. Joe Biden said he wouldn't comply. Then he said, of course he would comply. But what I mean is it wouldn't make any sense to subpoena me. Republicans are great at this, and Biden stepped in it. What Biden should have said from day one is, this impeachment trial has nothing to do with me. Any attempt to pull me into it would be an attempt to distract. Of course, I believe in the Constitution and the rule of law, and I will always do what is legally required of me. But the idea that I should be part of this Senate trial is a political strategy meant to make impeachment about me instead of about Donald Trump. He didn't say that. Instead, he sort of tried to be tough. I won't go, but that's the wrong thing to say. He has to walk it back. They are experts in this. They won't even fight the substance. They distract, misdirect. They get Democrats to argue with themselves. We've got to be smarter. We can't be falling for this stuff. And Joe Biden did. Remember that tomorrow, January 1, big membership special going out by email, an obscene discount, an opportunity for you to put your name on the record as a supporter of the David Pakman Show for 2020. It's an election year. This stuff matters. Get on our newsletter by signing up at davidpakman.com. And then tomorrow, you'll get an email with instructions for how to take advantage of this. It's so cheap. It's disgustingly obscene, the membership special we're running tomorrow. Do you feel like you just don't have enough time to become as intellectually well-rounded as you would like to be, that there are just not enough hours in your week for you to read all of the books that you want to read? One of our sponsors is called Blinkist, and it's an app that lets you consume an entire nonfiction book in 15 minutes. It's only about $8 a month, but you can try it for free for a week and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. What Blinkist does is take thousands of popular nonfiction books and condense them into either text or audio that you can read or listen to in just 15 minutes. And what you get is all of the most important ideas and information from the book. Imagine being able to listen to an entire nonfiction book in the amount of time it takes you to drive or walk home from work. I've just finished listening to Upheaval by Jared Diamond. Jared Diamond, a tremendous author whose work I've previously recommended. Excellent book looking at some of modern history's biggest national crises to figure out how different countries ended up in such precarious situations. Blinkist has totally transformed how I consume information. I love it. Of course, I read a book in its entirety when I can, but there are simply just so many books that I want to read and would not have the time for if it weren't for Blinkist. They have books on politics, economics, philosophy, science, you name it. You can try it out yourself, totally free for a week, and get 25% off if you decide to subscribe just by going to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.